Hey guys, happy Thursday. Thanks for stopping by for another episode here at alliseeisW. In today's video, we'll be covering latest updates with Opendoor stock, what my use case is. Today was such a bloody market, but Opendoor held up quite well. We'll go through technical analysis, price predictions for the rest of 2025 and onward. Now, if you're new to this channel, you're part of the Opendoor Army, I would really appreciate you hitting the like, subscribing for more related content, and I'll be playing a video clip of Anthony Pompliano and his use case with Opendoor. Let's begin, guys. Here's a post where there's speculation about Eric Trump potentially having an interest or he's already bought Opendoor stock. So Titan traders, a friend just sent me this on Open with Eric Trump. Not sure this holds any truth, but can you imagine Eric Trump? I mean, on Bloomberg, rumor Eric Trump may have bought Open shares. So is that true? Only time will tell. We'll get this announcement. Cobra posts, nobody wants to buy Open now, but at $10, everyone was raving about it. You don't get rich buying stocks at the top. You get rich buying them on the dips. Like if you're bullish. I'm very bullish. I mean, Open Door, just with the recent several last 5 weeks, we've been seeing just consolidation. But let me tell you, the bigger the base, the bigger the squeeze. Things can't just go up in one linear fashion. Good news is we don't see like a reversal to the downside, but this is just a textbook bull flag that's going to be playing out. We will see a reversal. Here's a post from Nexus. First ever positive headline on Open. Best part, yet neither Zillow nor Compass matches the scale or transactional automation of Opendoor's AI-powered valuation system. So the title is Opendoor quietly becoming real estate's AI commerce engine? So that just tells you something. I mean, Open is no longer just a home flipping platform. It's becoming an AI-driven marketplace, reshaping how homes are sold and marketed. In its second quarter of 2025, the company reported 1.6 billion in revenues in its first quarter of adjusted EBITDA profitability since 2022, signaling the reversal to the upside here. Kaz, the CEO, he came from Shopify. I mean, he's really bringing in leaders from Dropbox, from Shopify with experience from like big time companies. He announces our Q3 financial open house, known by corporals types as earnings call, will be on November 6th at 5 p.m. So that's going to be coming up in several weeks. We got some great feedback on how to make sure everyday shareholders can be involved. We'll share some details soon. I remember at one point when Kaz posted this, this is where we had Vlad, the CEO of Robinhood, responding back to Kaz's post saying that, Robinhood can help them with that. So it'll be interesting. Q3 financial open house November 6th. Let's head towards that direction. Marcus posts open, take another deep breath and exhale. The next events could trigger a dam break. The expectations of the new open door management are enormous. I mean, they're bringing in, solid top tier leaders, just to revamp their operations, their marketing, their finances. October 29, we got the Fed cuts interest rates. That's going to be very bullish. I mean, that's coming up in less than 2 weeks. November 6th, Q3 financial open house. November 9th, we got the Form 10Q for Q3. November 14th, we got institutional investors over 100 million in assets must file their Form 13F for Q3. No date, new CFO, new solutions, products, partnerships, reductions of fixed costs. And, we hear a lot about how they can, cut costs, reducing the employee count to default to AI. So we may very well see some more trimming and all that to cut down the operational expense. But I think as we head towards November, there's going to be some really nice upside potential just with rate cuts alone, right? That's going to cause quantitative easing. Let's take a look at technical analysis. So, what are we looking at? Opendoor on the daily candle. I got two indicators turned on along with volume indicator. Yes, we've seen volume sort of decrease here. The whales have been decreasing their purchases, but you know what? It's only a matter of time where we're going to see the reversal to the upside. I mean, look at this. We got this pennant flag playing out. Yes, we had the breakout where price got, close to $11, and since September 10th, it's been just consolidating, but I love seeing price action usually hover independent flag or bullish consolidation flag because typically that's where you'll get a reversal to the upside. It's been, hovering in this range for like 5 weeks. Good news is it didn't just go up, to $11 and just reverse back down, right? It's been just, holding a new base here. And we got the triple bottom top support at $7. Yes, there's potential for it to go down even further to, $6. But you know what? I really do think that there's going to be a lot of buying activity around this range. And we may very well have a reversal to the upside as we head towards, October, November, December. I see, Opendoor getting back into the double digit range. We may even get to 13, $18 is my, prediction in the coming, weeks. But just looking at the momentum candle, we had that momentum candle not too long ago, like 10 days ago, right? And then since then broke out of the pennant flags, 970 had a pullback. So we're in this retracement period. Question is how far can it retrace? Today, it dropped 3%, but not bad compared to a lot of other small cap stocks. So I definitely do see that there's going to be a potential nice run up, especially with how the markets are going. But I do think that this is looking very, very good. Of course, we want to see the price go up, but just a matter of time. It's going to break out to the upside here. I mean, just based on the technicals that I'm seeing.
I've talked with a lot of institutional investors, a lot of hedge funds in the last year or so. You have to remember that the young people who are growing up with a phone in their hand, they're on, X, they're on Reddit, they're listening to podcasts, etc. They live a dual life. They're an institutional investor when they're at work. They're a retail investor when they're in their personal account. So now what's happening is historically it was the institutions who were leading and retail was trying to chase the trend, right? Institution puts a position on, they go on television, they start talking about it, retail goes and buys it.
We like Nike.
Correct. Now it's flipping. The retail investors are running into different investment themes because they don't have the constraints. They don't have an investment committee. They don't have, rebalancing and all this stuff. So what they're going to buy, well, the people that are inside the institutions, these young people, they think of themselves as retail investors. They see the trends. They're sitting on Twitter all day. And so then they go and they advocate for those positions inside the institutions. So a good example is Opendoor, right? If you look at this Opendoor stock, the retail investors all started to buy it. Basically, there's a hedge fund manager in Canada, this guy, Eric Jackson, who comes out and he says, hey, I think this thing is significantly undervalued. It was trading at like 50 cents. And he says, I think that this thing can come back. And so he goes and he buys the position. I interviewed him when he did it. And, I heard the pitch. I thought it was interesting, but I didn't do anything. I'd go buy the stock or whatever. Stock started to move up and I paid attention. I see all the retail guys and I see what they're doing. And I say, you know what, I'm going to buy this stock. I'm going to buy the stock. The company at the current moment doesn't look super attractive, but I think the retail guys are going to be able to advocate change inside this company, basically like an activist campaign. So I buy the stock. All of a sudden, the retail guys, they get super loud. Within, 72 hours of them really going hard, the CEO steps down. They get management to eventually agree to stop selling shares. They bring in a new CEO who's the former COO of Shopify. They bring back the founders onto the board of directors, all this stuff. So it's like the most successful activist campaign recently. Well, right after the retail guys all started buying the stock and advocating for all these changes, all the 13Fs start coming out. All the institutions start buying. You see all these guys are buying up this stock. Now, some of it is they think interest rates are going to come down. This is in the residential real estate market, so that would be kind of a tailwind for the company. But a big part of it is they're paying attention to what the retail guys are doing. And so they're sitting there saying, wait a minute, why are all these guys all buying the stock? There's energy now, right? There's momentum. They're advocating change. They're bringing back the founders. They're putting in this great CEO. Like that is going to change this company. And so the institutions follow retail, which is very different than 10 years ago.
So there you have it. I hope you enjoy this content. If you did, go ahead and give the video a like, share with a friend. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Take care. So you